practice our listening, our comprehension. And I think you've seen that in our Progis English group. We are looking to practice English a little more and do it in interactive ways that everyone can participate and talk about something interesting. So I think this is one of the initiatives we've had. This is our first talk, the first chat we're going to have. So it'll be interesting to see how everyone reacts about it, how they feel, what they think. It will be nice to have a feedback on everyone's opinion. So today will be more of like an introduction to who we are, who I am, and to practice our English as well. So it'll be interesting to know how you feel, what you think about this call today. After the call, you can tell us how the English was, if you understood everything, if you thought it was interesting for you, if there was any different topics you want to discuss, you want to talk about, any topics of interest. So this is more of a trial for everyone, I think. So my name is Leticia. I live in Sorocaba at the moment. I was born in Sorocaba, and I lived 14 years of my life in London. So I think that's what we're going to talk about today. About my experience, about how it was, why I went there. If you guys have any questions as well, if you have any questions about the culture, about the lifestyle, about English, because I've just recently come back to Brazil. I came back in October. So now I'm working as an English teacher, and I am part of the Progis as well. So if you have any questions, if you have anything you want to talk about in English, we can talk about today or another day, another lesson. I don't know if Rodolfo wants to say anything just to start, or do we just go in?
Going. Okay.
Okay. So to start with, I've told you a little bit about me. My name is Leticia. I am 25 years old. So I lived in London 14 years, which is half of my life. So I came back to Brazil because I wanted to be near my family and try the adult life in Brazil, because I only lived here when I was a child. So the first thing is, how did I go to London? So I have an uncle, my mom's brother. He went to London about 20 years ago now, when we didn't have any passports, we didn't have any documents, nothing. He just went to try life out there. So when he was in London, he went to Italy, and we got the papers to be Italians. So a lot of Brazilians do that at the moment when you get citizenship from a different country. So I think the European countries are much easier to get your citizenship, like Portugal, Spain, Italy. So that's what we did. And when he managed to get the passports, he asked my mom if she wanted to go to London to try a new job, a new life, new everything. And he said he would support her with everything she needed. He would help her with the English, with looking for a job. So she decided to go. And she asked me, she said, do you want to go with me, or do you want to stay here and wait until I find a job and a house for us? And I said, no, I want to go as well. So we went, me and my mom. We didn't speak English. I didn't know how to say hi. I didn't know what how are you was. So it was a very different experience. I was 12 years old, And when we got there, I went to school. And for me, school was very different because, first of all, I went to a different classroom than all the children. I went to a classroom where no one spoke English. So no one spoke English, no one spoke Portuguese, nothing. So the only way to communicate was hand gestures and drawing. So that was for everyone to learn English at the same time. So I got there, I didn't speak any English. I didn't know how to say hi, how are you, nothing. And in 6 months, when we had learned, yes, it was like imaginação in my classroom. We just had to mimic everything. So after 6 months, when everyone had learned the basics, the very basic English, like, hello, my name is, books on the table, that was the level of English everyone had. They threw us in normal classes at school. So then we had science classes, maths class, English class, everything. And that's where I actually learned English, in school during normal classes. I learned English in science, I learned English in maths, I learned English in history. And it was different because now in my life, everything I know about science, for example, I know it all in English. Everything I know in chemistry, I just know in English. I don't know how to do it in Portuguese. So it was good in one way, but bad in another, because I missed my education in Brazil, in Portuguese. Everything I learned about history, it's European history. There's nothing about the Brazilian history. So it was good for one side and bad in another. So after I finished high school, in England, they have college, which is the same as colegial for us here in Brazil. So when I finish high school, you have the option to stay in the school where you are and do college there, or go to a different college. So I chose to go to a different one just because I wanted to get to know new people and see new places and learn more things. So I went to college. In college, colegial, you get to choose the subject you do, because in English, in England, is like a preparation for your university. It's like a foundation year. So you get to choose what you're going to study. And I didn't know what I wanted to do at university. I had no idea. But I just knew I like to travel a lot. So what did I do? Tourism. So I did, yes, college is different from high school. In England, college is colegial. High school is ensino médio. But I know in America, college is universidade ou faculdade. In England, university é universidade ou faculdade. Então, that's the difference.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, the US college is the university. So I was thinking, I'm like, what? But okay. Now I
Yes.
understand.
So the college.
Did you leave high school with at like 18 years old and then went to college?
So in
college,
England, you finish
like...
high school. Sorry, go on.
No, you go.
So high school, I finished when I was 16, which I think is when you go to colegial here in Brazil. When you start primeiro, segundo, e terceiro colegial. So I went to college when I was 16 and university when I was 18.
Okay.
So the college in England is the colegial here in Brazil. And high school or secondary school is escola secundária, or ensino médio. So I went to college when I was 16.
Leticia.
And I chose to do... Oi!
You told that the first time you went to school, you have to mime with gesture, things like that. Is it a specific school for foreigners?
No, it was a normal school, but they had a class for children who didn't speak English. Because in England, we have a lot of foreigners that, especially at the time when I went, a lot of people moved there from other countries in Europe as well. In my class, where no one spoke English, I had a Bulgarian girl, 2 Somalian boys, a girl from Lithuania, where else? A girl from Pakistan. So it was very different. No one spoke even similar languages. There was no one there who spoke Spanish for me to try a little bit of Spanish.
How many students? How many students into the classroom?
There was about 10 students in my class that didn't speak English.
Do you have any contact with them? With someone?
I still do, yes, because they were my friends from secondary school. So I still have contact with them, yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, now tell me about your
secondary school.
Tell me about your own experience, because there you was a student. You have to learn English since the beginning. So you have to learn everything at school. You have to learn English language, maybe literature, English literature, things like that. And now you are teaching here in Brazil. And what challenges are you facing with this opposite, with these different positions? Because there you studied English and here you are teaching English. Are you facing any challenges with grammar, for example, or with the verb tense, with the phrasal verbs, things like that? Because it is different study and how can I say that? But to learn and you be able to pass the knowledge.
Yes. So one of the main challenges for me is teaching English when I don't know the Portuguese grammar rules, if that makes any sense. So I have a student here. She's in the call, Bruna. She's my personal student and my friend. And I do private lessons with her. So for me, it's good that I have a friend that I can talk to, because when I am teaching her, I say, okay, we use this with the pronoun. Oh, but what is a pronoun? And then Bruna's like, I don't know. Explain to me, how do you use it? And then I tell her and she's like, okay, it's a substantivo, subjetivo. So it's like I learned from her as well what I didn't learn in school. So that is the main challenge to teach. But I think the best thing that I have learned is that I know the difficulties in learning English from a student that didn't know hi. I know the difficulties and I know, how can I say this, like ways to go around the challenges and help people. I know how people think when you're like, oh, I don't understand this, I will never understand this. I know the feeling. So it's like, it's good from that perspective, but it's bad because I have to learn Portuguese as well as I teach English.
Okay, I got it. Thank you for answering. And the other thing that I'm curious, I thought very different, because in IJS project, we have a lot of Brazilian people that want to go abroad and try adult life there. And you told us the opposite, that you came back to Brazil because you want to try the adult life here. So tell us about this return from here. How were you received here for Brazilian again? And how is his experience that you're having right now to pass your life, to speak about your life, to speak about your feelings, things like that?
It's different because every single person I speak to here in Brazil, they're like, why did you come back? Why now? Why, when you have the chance to stay there, why did you come back? So it's really hard to explain because it's not that I am ungrateful. I am very grateful for all the opportunities I've had. But there's a point in life where you have to balance everything. And at this point, well, it got to a point when I was in London that I had finished all my education. I finished university. I had a good job. I had my mom there because I used to live with my mom, but I still wasn't 100% happy. And I thought maybe I could try this. Maybe this is one of the things that I need, even if things don't work here. I say I try. So even if I have to go back, I can go back saying, okay, I tried. Now I will be happy there.
Totally.
I came back because of my family. And at the moment it's difficult because it's kind of like life stopped for everyone in this moment we're living. So I can't really say I am happy or I am unhappy because I feel like this is like a pause in everyone's life.
Yes.
So that's why I came back.
Leticia,
did you feel a little bit homesick?
I miss my mom and my cat. I have a cat there, but nothing else.
Leticia, talk about a little cute culture in London. Is different in Brazil or how? I don't know. Tell me.
It's similar.
Culture is very different.
Yeah.
Very different. When I moved to London, I was 12 years old. So you're at the point when you're starting to make opinions about things in life. Yeah, and you're starting to learn about things in life, like ideologies, religion, cultures. You're at the point when you start to be a teenager and you just want to question everything. Mm-hmm. So I think it was good for me to move there because I definitely saw a bigger picture of everything that I wouldn't see here in Brazil. Like when I moved there, at 12 years old, I learned that there were other religions rather than Christianity that I didn't know about. So it definitely opened my mind as a person to live there. London, I think, is the most diversified culture city in the world, I think. If not, is one of the most. So there are people from all around the world. Even people from the same country that have different cultures. Like here in Brazil, we have people from the north and the south that are completely different. So we have that in London as well. I think safety as well is a major difference. Not just safety in crime, but like safety as in you being free to go out whatever time you want. You can just jump on a bus and without a destination and just see where it ends. So that is like that type of freedom. If you don't have anything to do, you can just take a train and visit a new city. So I think the main differences are culture. Obviously, there is so much culture there, different culture, safety, and freedom as well.
Okay.
Nice.
Hey
Very
guys.
Leticia, I have already studied in didactic books because I use it to teach times before, and I have already read that in London we have London is the country that we have the more free activities to go, places to visit, things like that. And when I went to there, I visited some places like Hyde Park, British Museum, things like that. So tell us about the free attractions that we have in London City.
I think London is amazing because of that. Like I said, the freedom to walk around London is also the freedom that you can spend the whole day without spending any money, doing so many things. If you have a sandwich in your bag, you can go out and come back at it. So I used to go to museums a lot. I went to the Natural History Museum, which is my favorite. The Natural History Museum is free.
To go there.
And if you spend the whole day there from 9 to 5, which are the opening times, you still don't see everything in the museum the whole day. So you probably have to go 2 or 3 days. Is it back to normal now? Is it back?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, to see the Natural History Museum, you probably need 2 or 3 whole days in the museum to see every part of it. But whenever I went, I just stayed in the same ones, which are animals, the planetarium, dinosaurs are the ones I love. They also have the London Transport Museum, which doesn't sound very interesting, but it's very nice because it tells the whole history of transportation throughout the world, and you get to see how it all started up until now, and not just transportation like cars. They have planes, they have rockets, they have trains, they have a lot of things. And now I have my favorite free attraction in London, which is the Sky Garden. I tell everyone to go there when people visit London and they ask me what to do. So the Sky Garden is like a very, very high building in the center of London, and it's an office building. So a lot of people work in there. But the last floor, it's a garden. They have built a garden on the last floor of the building, and all the walls are glass. So you have a 360 view of London. I'll send you pictures on the group.
Yeah.
So it's free, and you just have to book in advance. So they open our slots 2 weeks in advance. You just have to book it with your name. So, people don't book it and then don't go. You just have to confirm attendance. And it's free. You just go up. You can stay there as long as you want. They have restaurants, they have bars, you can drink. You can go there 9 o'clock in the morning and stay the whole day if you want. Some companies do yoga lessons there in the morning, so you can see the sunrise in London. It's amazing. The view is amazing. That is my favorite free attraction.
It's the place that they have glasses on the floor?
Not on the floor, no.
Only on the window.
Only in the windows, yes. But now there is a new attraction. This one is not free. In the Tower of London, you know that famous bridge?
Yes.
The London Bridge?
Yes.
Yes.
They now have an attraction there that you go up and you have glass floor from the bridge.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
I think it's like
Is it the city
£7.
hall
No,
or not?
it's the Tower Bridge near
Okay, Tower Bridge.
near the Tower of
been to
London.
there.
Mm-hmm. So it's there. I think it's like £7.
What about the London Eye?
London Eye is amazing as well. I've been like 3 times because every time a family member went to visit us, they paid for me to go there. But I wouldn't pay because living in London, it's like £30 just to go around the London Eye. Like you don't need to do that if you live there. But it's also amazing because it's glass all around the capsule. So you get to see everything. It takes about 30 minutes to go the whole way around. And the London Eye never stops. So you have to go in when it's still moving.
So,
it's really cool.
And the prices, like for living there, it's an expensive place, it's cheap, it's a good place to live, but you have to, how can I say, guardar muito dinheiro.
Save money, yes.
Save money, yes. Yes, Eduardo, thank you. Save. You have to save money.
London, when you compare to England overall, it's a very expensive city to live. If you live just one city, one neighborhood outside of London, it's much cheaper. But the price you pay is equivalent to the price you earn equivalent to the money you earn if you work in London, because London jobs are very well paid if you work in London.
Oh.
Yes,
the food. I want to know too.
So the jobs in London are very well paid. So a lot of people live outside of London, but they go to work in London because you get paid more.
It's like here where I live. I live in Goiás, but it's like 1 hour from Brasilia. So a lot of people live here but work there because they pay better.
Yes, a lot of people do that in São Paulo as well. So if it's worth the stress, the money, everything, then fine.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
I don't think it's worth as well.
I did that and wasn't good. I did that and was stressful. And
I can imagine.
The best option that I take for my life was find a work right here in the city. I can go by walking and go back home, and it's still day. I can live in the dark and get home in the dark. So it's not worth it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it's worth it.
One moment,
but in London, yes.
Guys, do you have a question to Leticia? Only you, only Renata, Fabi, and me speaking.
We have more people here.
Yeah.
I think Bruno wanted to talk about the food.
Eduardo.
Michael, Eduardo, G, Beatriz. Let's talk, people.
So Bruno wanted to talk about the food. Bruno came to visit me in London. Potatoes everywhere in London. I love potatoes.
Me too.
So you would live very well in London. We have potatoes with everything.
In London, there is school famous to music, for me, classical music. I would like to visit the Royal College of Music. Do you know where is
I don't know about
here?
the music college specifically.
Okay.
I don't know about that. There are a lot of famous colleges in London, in England, that we don't really appreciate when we live there, like the Oxford University and the Cambridge University. They're very easy to get into if you live in London, if you live in England. So we don't really appreciate it as we live there. And I'm sure there's a lot of other colleges there that we don't even know about that are very famous, like science colleges, technological colleges, but we don't really know about them.
Okay. Tell me about your university.
So my university, I went to university in Plymouth, which is a city in England. It's, if you drive, it's 5 hours away from London driving. If you get the train, it's about 6 hours. But if you get a bus, which is what I used to do because I was a student and I had no money, it was 8 or 9 hours by bus. So I only visited my mom like once a month because it was very far away. And I just wanted to go there because it was far, because it was different from London, new people, and it's also a coastal city. So it's by the sea. So I just wanted to see the sea, even though it was raining 364 days of the year, I could still see the sea. So I went there to do maritime business and logistics. So skip college where I did tourism, then university, maritime business and logistics. Nothing to do with anything I had ever studied, but it was business. So, and I always loved logistics. I always wanted to have a career in logistics. So that's why I did it. It was the only course with business and logistics. So it was nice. University is very different from faculdade in Brazil. Universities in London, if you go straight from college, straight from your secondary school, it's whole day classes. So it's like uma faculdade integral. You study the whole day from 9 to 5. You have classes. You have classes mixed with other subjects in auditoriums that with like 100, 200 people, like you see in movies. It's very nice. It's fun. In my whole university, I was the only Brazilian person in every single course, every single year. I was the
private or public?
It was public. So that's another interesting thing. All universities in England are public if you have an European citizenship. Well, I say public, but like you get a loan from the government, which is £3,000 a year. So you get a loan, você empresta dinheiro do governo, 3.000 libras por mês. And you pay the government back when you get a job after university. But you pay
Like
them
CS in
like
here.
£20 a month. So you never really pay them back. So I call it public because you don't really pay them back. And the government also helps you with money to live. So they give you, I think, £3,000 a year to live as well. So they give you 1,000 to pay your university, 3,000 for you to live. But if you divide that 3,000 for the whole 12 months. It doesn't even pay rent, so it's really a small help.
Okay.
So it was different because I was the only Brazilian person in the whole university. At that time, when I was 18, 19, I already had a few Brazilian friends in London, so I missed them, even though I had loads of friends that were English and from different countries. I wanted to go there because of the experience of being with just English people again.
Leticia,
So
there's a
different.
question in the box.
From Eduardo.
Gé, eu acho, não sei. Porque, do you think London is a good place to learn English?
I think it's a great place to learn English if you don't make any Brazilian friends.
Yeah, it's
Because
important.
there are a lot of Brazilian people there. And it's great because you have people from all around the world. So you learn English with every single accent. You learn Italian English, Indian English, American English, London English. You learn every single type of English. But if you make Brazilian friends, I don't know, it's cultural. You just tend to stick with your people. So you will end up just going out with your Brazilian friends. I learned to speak English because I didn't have any Brazilian friends for my first 4 years in London. And then I started meeting Brazilian people.
So, and you are teaching English right here in Brazil, right?
Yes, I am teaching at Fisk, and I also have a few private students.
And do you have a degree?
For teaching, no, I have a course called TEFL, Teaching English as a Foreign Language.
Yeah.
So it's considered a degree, but it's not like a bacharelado, nada disso. It's a degree for teaching English. So it's like a certificate.
And like, I'm studying pedagogy, and I want to teach English. And I finished my course. I'm gonna finish my course next year, on the first semester. But I'm very lazy to get the second degree.
For English.
Yes, because I know
Sure,
I'm
but
doing.
I think that all the university, if you know how to speak English,
I can hear you.
Fabi, I can hear you too.
Meio baixo.
Your microphone.
Oh, I don't know anything about football, Eduardo. Sorry. My stepfather supports Manchester United.
Soccer game.
The only soccer game I went to was Brazil against a very weird country in Europe. I think it was Brazil and Sweden.
It was in Wembley? Where?
I went to the Arsenal Stadium.
Oh, yeah. Oh, how nice.
And I was behind the goal, really close to the field.
And how did you feel there?
It was nice at the time, but it was a winter day. It was snowing, so it was very cold. I just wanted to end so I could go home.
Fabi,
Fabi,
hold your thought, because I want to know what you were saying for me.
Yeah, it's having an interference.
So did you say you're lazy to get your English part of the degree?
So, not lazy to get my English. It's like A second degree. I
And how long is that second degree?
The second degree, if I get right, it's, how can I say? So, for direto, né? So, sem
If you
parar.
go straight? Mm-hmm.
Yes, if I go straight, about a year and 2 months.
It's not long.
Yes, but I'm already 4 years in this.
I know.
I'm
I know the feeling.
Yes, and I'm a little tired. So I'm gonna teach it, of course, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm studying for this. But I really, really, really love English. So I wanna do something about it or relate
So
it.
what you
I don't
can
know.
do if your second degree is about English, you can do a course like mine, which is teaching English as a foreign language. So you get a certification. It's not a degree, but you get something that says you are able to teach English for someone who has English as a second language. So it's something that goes on your CV. I had to pay for my course, and it was 3 months long or something like that. But it's
No,
useful.
yes, because 2 years back, 2 years back or 3, I don't know. You don't have to have a degree. You have to do a course and have your diploma, minha gente. Como é que é diploma?
Yes. Your diploma. Yeah.
Yes, diploma. Okay. So you have to have your diploma, and it's okay. You can teach anywhere. Now, for you to teach in English or any foreign language, you have to take a graduation. So I'm really thinking.
Oh wow. I
I'm
didn't
really
know about
thinking.
that.
Yeah, that's why I asked to you, because when you told me that you just got back, né?
Mm-hmm.
Just got back from London, my first thought was, so she's student.
Yeah.
Okay, let's learn.
Yes, I don't know the rules about teaching in schools in Brazil, like escola estadual, municipal. I don't know the
You
rules.
have to be superior and diploma.
Okay.
Nothing less.
Well, if it serves to you as any motivation, when I finished my university 4 years ago now, I did 3 years of university, and when I finished it, I promised myself I would never study again because I said I just hate it so much. And then as soon as I got back to Brazil, I was looking at master's degrees, and I can't do it in Brazil because I have to translate all my diplomas from university.
Mhm.
And do you know how much it costs to do that?
I don't,
Almost
but
3,000 reais.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
It's a
So I
lot.
said, sorry, no masters for me.
Leticia, there is
Oh, it's a lot.
a lot of scholarship is for international students in London or other cities.
Sorry, a lot of what?
Scholarship.
Scholarship.
Yeah.
For non-English people, are you asking?
Yes, foreign people.
Yeah.
There are a lot of scholarships.
It's hard.
It's not hard because I know people who got it, so it's not impossible. I can tell you I know people who actually got scholarships, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of documents you have to put together. You have to do interviews. You have to do tests online. You have to translate all your diplomas from Portuguese to English. So it's a lot of work. I have a friend who I told you about. She works at the United Nations of the women's rights. I don't know, something like that. And she got a scholarship in Germany. Maybe she can talk about this with you guys. She was here in Brazil and she got a scholarship in Germany for master's degree. And I think it was 1 or 2 places for her course, for her year. So it's not impossible because not a lot of people apply for those scholarships, especially here from Brazil. But it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wanna do intercâmbio, internship. It's an internship.
Um, what's intercâmbio? Esqueci a palavra.
Who knows?
There's a question,
Exchange.
Eduardo.
Exchange,
That
yeah.
yeah, that one I know.
Exchange?
I used to sell exchanges like for
Exchange
4
program,
years.
Really?
Yeah.
It's too expensive, no?
No, I don't know. I
No?
have never sell to sell. What's the best of selling?
So?
I have never sold an exchange to UK, but to the other countries, it's cheap, like Latin
Uh,
America and everything. Because I used to sell volunteer experiences, but that's not the
so?
topic. But
Whoa, that's a
Maybe he can
contact.
do a talk. Yes.
yeah,
Yes, you can do a talk and you can help me
yeah, of
to go
course.
to other country.
I have a friend who did a sandwich year, like Eduardo said, in Portugal.
Oh, how
So
nice.
it was easier because everything was in Portuguese.
Yes,
Yeah.
sandwich. It's really sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought there was
It's a name.
a prank.
I didn't
Oh,
know
how nice.
that it was sandwich. I
Yeah,
just
it's a
know that
sandwich
in
year.
Brazil we call sanduíche, but because
Same.
my friend he applied to do a mestrado sanduíche in Deutschland, Germany.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
what
my
can I
friend is
do?
in Germany as well. There are a lot of options for you. I'm not the best person to tell you how to
You have to
find them.
help me.
But
I
it's
wanna
not
know, guys.
impossible. Rodolfo, how long do we have on the call? Because I
uh,
wanted to share
1
something.
hour. I think it's finished. I don't know. There's other questions for Leticia.
Can I
Oh no.
share one thing on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
It
Uh,
says only the host can
yeah.
share.
Sorry.
Sorry.
One moment. Uh,
It's just a few questions that I have for you guys. I hope it was an interesting talk, even though I can't really help with many questions like how
your
to get a
host
job
now.
there. I'm not the best person, how to get a scholarship, but I just have a few questions for you. So
Oh.
if we just go one by one, the first one is, what is your inspiration for learning English?
Oh,
Um,
I have one.
speak
I
you,
have.
Renato.
So, when I was young, I hated English. Hated because my
Me too.
brother my my brother talks in English. My sister is self-made, so she learned by herself, and they continue prank me because I couldn't understand nothing. So I get so angry, and I told to myself, I'm gonna learn this shit. I'm gonna learn this shit, and I'm gonna be better than them. And
And your
they,
English is very good.
oh, I hope so.
It is.
Thank you.
And
So,
What
English is
about you,
terrible.
Rodolfo? What's your inspiration?
I think because my inspiration, I would like I would like to visit other countries, but I would like to
Mm-hmm.
study in other country, and like London. There's a Royal College of Music. It's an important place for me because it's famous in
Yes.
my job, in my work. Sorry. Okay.
Yes, I think traveling, work, and studying are the main inspirations for people. And I can tell you from personal experience, it's very important to even know the basics of English when you travel or when you go to learn something in another country, because even the little basic words that you know makes a massive difference in your experience. Eduardo, do you have an inspiration? Anyone else that wants to share their inspirations with us?
Yeah, actually, I already have finished my English course. I used to study at first idiomas here in Sorocaba, and I finished it there at the advanced level. I didn't remember if I did the conversation level or if I didn't. I don't know. But mostly I started to learn English to be a good professional. And also in my family, my aunt, she met a North American here in Brazil, and then she she went to the US to live there. So we always talk with her husband that it's Native American, North American. So to learn to talk with him and to uh, develop myself professionally too.
Amazing. Do you want to go visit them?
Yeah, I actually I did. Has been 10 years, 10 years ago. But I mostly nowadays I just want to have spaces to practice and not to lose
Yes,
the
it's very
knowledge that
important to
I already have.
practice.
Yeah. So
When you
that's it.
spend so much time and money learning English, it's really important to not lose what you have learned.
Yeah.
The second
Yes.
question, I think everyone has this, but what are your drawbacks for learning English? So, does everyone know what a drawback is? It's like things that puts you off of something, makes
Uh,
you not want to do it.
Leticia, what drum back in Portuguese? Because I don't know.
Yes.
Drawback in Portuguese is, I don't know. I have to
It's like
Google.
something to hold back.
Em português, recua,
Impedimento?
uma coisa que te faz
Yes,
recuar,
hold you
uma
back.
desvantagem,
Okay.
abatimento. Então, uma coisa que te deixa sem vontade de aprender.
Okay.
Don't have many people to talk. Right now that I found this group, it's easier. But at the beginning, don't have people to talk or to fix or correct you when you talk wrong. It's a little tired and difficult.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are there any other different drawbacks?
Renata?
I think for me,
Yes.
when I was learning English at school, my drawback was like, I don't need to do this. I can just go back to Brazil and never have to learn English, especially on all my sad days when I was really sad going to school, like, oh, I don't understand anyone, I don't have any friends. Is a drawback is just like, I don't need to learn English. We speak Portuguese and it's fine. I can travel, I can translate things on my phone. But it's really important, like I said, to balance everything out. So to balance your inspirations and your drawbacks, and for everything that we learn in life, we'll have drawbacks. We just have to know how much we want to do something.
Yes.
The third question, almost finished. What
Oh,
cultures are you
let me.
curious about?
Can
Yes,
I tell you something?
of course.
about the thing that learning in and stuff. Like I'm I'm taking a course, like I told you, and here in Brazil we have some public schools, né, language schools. So I'm making my course in one of these schools, and I'm in intermediate 3. It's like the last course of intermediary. Yes, correct.
Intermediary, yes.
Yes, intermediary to go to advanced. And in my class this year, this semester, we have a Venezuelano,
Mm-hmm.
like as a teacher, and he was very, very, very upset because we have in a we had have a class that from 30 people, only 3 or 4, actually the most 5, can understand and maintain a conversation between each other. And I talked to the principal about it and told him, you have to pay attention to this, because you the degree doesn't matter if you don't know how to talk, if you don't talk, if
Yes,
you don't
of
know
course.
how to communicate. Just have the degree, doesn't matter. And he said, "Oh, we're doing whatever we can and stuff." And I look him, and like you said that you were sad because you can understand, but right here from for us that we are learning too, it's very difficult this part, because they
Yes.
they spend the time pass through whatever they want, and doesn't matter if you know, if you learn, if you didn't learn, if you can talk, if you can't.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yes,
important
of
for them
course.
is only the degree.
We have that problem as well at FISC. Now we have a very good coordinator. We're trying to fix these problems, but we have a lot of people who just want to finish the book. They don't care about learning what's in the book. They don't care about practicing, about getting
Yes.
the exercise right. They just want to finish the book. And
And
I
what
teach kids
difference
at
it's gonna
FISC.
make?
Yes, exactly. I teach kids at FISC, and sometimes they think I'm a very bad teacher because I don't move on in the book until they understand and until they say it right. So
Makes you
they're like,
better.
oh, we've already done this. I'm like, okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. And we just have to find fun ways to teach, really, and talk about the same thing. I do, now that we're having lessons online, I do a lot of interaction with them. So they're not as bored as they normally would be in my lessons. But I understand what you mean. People just want to
Yeah.
get the degree, the certificate, and finish and put it on their CV.
Yes.
So it's important to have a bigger inspiration than drawbacks, really, so you can see things like you saw and understand that you need to learn before you move on to something. So the third question, guys, just quickly.
So,
What cultures are you curious about around the world? What would you like to see? What would you like to know?
I'm the only one who's talking.
Yes. Anyone on the chat? What cultures are you curious about?
I'm very curious about actually New Orleans.
Yes, I really want to visit New Orleans.
Yes.
So
I
rich in
want to go.
culture.
Yes, I want to go just for the black culture.
Yes.
He's in Pounder,
Yeah.
right there. So I'm very curious, and the times that we are, it's I get a little scared to visit the place when the white people predominate, or it's, how can I say, it's bigger.
Most, yes. Major
Big, Yes, the major people
The
are
majority.
white. Yes, and so I want to go to New Orleans. I don't know how, but I want to go.
Yes, it's very rich in culture. There are a lot of places in Brazil as well you can visit for the Black culture, I think. I've been to some amazing places.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's museum in São Paulo about the culture black or no?
yes,
Yes, yes,
I didn't
it's
know.
famous.
I didn't know it.
Yes, in Ibirapuera, I think the museum.
Oh,
Yes, I
I'm
visit
gonna search about it. I'm gonna search
two
about it.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Wow, I really like
Nice.
museums. I've been to the Amazon and I didn't know about it, but there is a lot of slavery in the Amazon as well. So even though they have a lot of indigenous culture there, they also have a lot of the influences from the Black culture in the Amazon.
Yes.
It's really cool. Anyone else have any other cultures they want to see around the world?
I don't know if I have like one main culture or some cultures, but I think I am interested in knowing the whole world. I don't know
Yes,
if I,
that's a
I
good
will
plan.
be able to, but that's a big dream, and I am very curious to know like all Latin American
Me too.
countries, then go to Central America, and then Europe, and
So you want to
then
start close?
Africa. Yeah, but that's it.
That's a great plan. That's a great plan.
Yeah,
Let's do
start
it
close
together,
and go
guys.
moving further.
Let's do
Uh,
it.
So I just asked about what cultures are you curious about, and the last one, what curiosities do you have about living abroad? Because I just wanted to make a point that English is very important when you travel. You must know that. But even here in Brazil, if you go to like specific touristic points, now a lot of people speak English, and like they didn't 10 years ago. But because traveling and tourism around the world now is mainly in English and Spanish. So if you're curious about any culture, you can learn about anything in English anywhere you go to. If you go to Saudi Arabia, if you go to Morocco, Egypt, people will speak English with you. So
Yes.
it's very
What is
important if you want
abroad?
to expand.
What it means?
Abroad is
Yes.
anything outside of your country.
Oh, nice.
Estrangeiro.
Yes, nice. I like it.
Cool. So I think there was just one other question in the chat from Jay.
yeah.
How long did it take you to understand the language well? So when I was in that class at school that no one spoke English, I was there for 6 months. And I left that classroom with very basic English, but I could understand and survive. So I would say 6 months, but to speak very well, probably 12 months going to school every day.
And it's funny because you have a Brazilian accent.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, you have.
To be honest, my English has changed a lot since I moved back here because I have to teach in American English. So I have to try to change my accent. But in London, I had people ask me, where was I born in England? And I was like, no, I'm not British. So it
That's
changes a
nice.
lot when I'm talking to people.
But you can realize that some words it's really British accent.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Guys,
Like
I have to
did.
go.
Yes.
I have to
We
go
all have
because I
to
have
go
to.
as well.
Yes, I have to make dinner. I didn't see the time, and it's almost 9, and I have 2 kids that hungry.
Okay, thank you for coming. I hope it was useful.
Was very, 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 very nice talk to you and see you guys, put the face on
Thank
the voices.
you. I'll see you on the
Okay.
group chat.
See you.
Yes, let's talk in the group, okay?
Thank
Bye
you,
bye.
Renata.
I
Bye,
would like
Renata.
to thank you.
Bye,
Are you listening
Bruna.
to me?
Good night.
Fabi, I'm listening
Yes.
to you. Yes.
Bye bye. Hey, nice to
Bye.
meet you.
Me too.
Leticia, I think we
So
don't
I owe you an
time.
apology. I owe you an apology because sorry, were too bad. I think because my mobile internet, I have no idea. But I would like to thank you very much because you gave your attention for us, and I thought your English very articulated, and I think this is very important to connect with the learner. You know, I think it's very good to be articulated in speaking. So thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your moment, your time with us. Count on us for everything too.
Me too.
Thank you very much.
Me too.
I'm glad you liked it. I will send you some
thank-
pictures of the sky garden in the group. Thank you for everyone who's
Thank you so much, Leticia,
Thank
and
you,
everyone.
Leticia.
It
I'm
was
so
very
happy
nice.
Thank
today.
you.
Yes. Bye bye,
Okay,
guys.
bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
I
Good
have
night.
Good
I
night.
have something to tell you.
Yes.
Please send feedbacks there. Send written feedbacks there because it's nice for our
Yeah.
group. It's not nice for the written, for
Yeah.
the writing exercise too, and it is very motivated for Leticia too. Okay.
Yeah. Writing in the
Okay.
group.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.